Greetings duelists and welcome to another video. So um, as the format keeps progressing, we are starting to slowly see some decks trickling into the format. We're seeing some people like choosing certain strategies and some of them becoming very popular, and I just feel like it's a good time to discuss certain cards that could become very secretly really strong this upcoming format. But yeah, I won't waste a lot of your time. I'm just gonna go straight up and talk about it. The card discussion today is Magic Deflector. So why am I bringing up this card? For those who don't know, I will read up the text. Basically, the card says, for the rest of this turn, negate all equip, field, continuous, and quick play spell card effects on the field. So basically what this card does is that it pretty much is a blanket effect for spell cards, like spell heavy strategies that uses certain cards. The biggest outliers that come to mind right now are Sky Striker, Life Twin, specifically the Runic variant, alongside Sprite, and Kashtira. Those three decks are really popular right now. Another really popular deck, I guess I should throw in there, is Purely. Those four decks are all really strong, and they are all weak to this card. Kashtira, not so much compared to the other three I mentioned, but Purely, Sky Striker, and Runic variants, they all play a heavy amount of quick play spell cards. So just having a card that pretty much shuts down their entire turn, and like could possibly turn off their engine or make it so like they have to like dedicate more cards to play through it, is going to give you a very significant advantage if you do pair up against these decks. Against Kashtira, this card is not as strong, but it's still really good because Pressured Planet and Kashtira Birth are three ofs in that deck, and that deck kinda decides some of its games if these cards do resolve. Like a turn where they don't resolve both of these is a huge difference from a turn they do resolve these two cards. Another popular deck, well, not as popular though, but we're probably going to see it soon, is the Gold Pride Punk deck. This also shuts down like this card. It shuts down the teleports, so it's also really strong there. I already brought up Sprite. Floowandereeze is not as popular, but I figured I'd bring it up because it's the same thing as Kashtira. It's a deck that if you don't let it resolve these cards, their ceiling is significantly lower than if they do resolve these cards. Another deck that we can talk about is the Vanadium Scareclaw deck. They don't play a lot of cards that play into Deflector, but the Calarium and the Rhyphobia are two very specific field spells that do change the outcome of the game if they do resolve or they do not resolve. So it's very strong against them as well. We can talk about other unorthodox strategy like Dragon Link, for example. Like the Dragon Link deck, they do rely on playing these field spells to do part of their combos. Quick Launch is another card that loses to Deflector, so that's another really strong one. Some of them play the Branded Regained with the Bestials, so that card shuts this down as well. The Brave token package is not super popular, but it's slowly picking up pace again, like in certain decks or combo strategies. So just having a card that can shut down Faithful Adventure is really strong. Against Branded, it does not freeze Branded Fusion, but they do play a good amount of quick play spells that are really strong if they do resolve, so just having a card that can shut them down is also very significant for you. Like, for example, like not resolving branded opening or not resolving like branding on red in one turn could define the duel in that turn against branded. So like at worst it pretty much is a 1-for-1 against us few blowout cards. It also shuts down branded lost, which is really, really important, because like if branded lost resolves, it means it's really, really hard for you to stop the branded player if they do keep going. This card is also really good against like certain utility cards that we're probably going to see a lot this format, like Cosmic Cyclone, books, the forbidden cards, Lance, Chalice. Chair Ride is an unorthodox one, but take into consideration that this card is another card that could enter the format. Chalice to Squirty. He did 2 videos talking about this card, and I might make a separate video talking about this card myself because it does warrant a discussion, same way Magic Deflector does. But right now we're only talking about the utility behind Magic Deflector. But yeah, like this is only food for thought. I don't think I've covered everything with this. I think there's like a lot of other strategies that could be popular and do lose to this card, but I figured I just mention like the more important ones, like this, like Sky Striker, Runic, Sprite. Like you will see all these decks like around, and you're probably going to see them more than not. So just like one thing that you need to take in consideration when it comes to the next format is the more cards you have that can cover the most matchups, the better the cards are. And it's very, very soon to tell if Magic Deflector is one of them, but it's one you should highly consider, seeing how the format is shaping up bit by bit during this first week. But yeah, I hope you found this discussion very interesting, informative. Keep practicing and keep doing.